How to sell undeveloped land. Owning undeveloped land can be a good investment. If you bought a parcel a few years back, you can almost always be sure that you will be able to sell it at a higher value now, assuming that you bought it at the right price. If you have a property that you have decided to sell, we will guide you on how to successfully find potential buyers for your property in the easiest way possible, especially if your property is still undeveloped. Knowing all the information about your property is an important part of selling. You can expect that people who would be interested would ask a lot of questions. That is why it is very important that you know all the necessary information about your land that will help you in closing a deal. One of the crucial pieces of information that you should know is the zoning of your property. Zoning refers to the classification that your county has assigned to your property. Your property zoning will determine the type of structure that you can build on your land and how it can be used, among other things. This is very important because it can easily make or break the possibility of you being able to sell your land, since most buyers will have certain requirements. Once you have all the information collected, the next thing that you should start doing is cleaning up your property. This video is more geared towards giving you tips if your property is undeveloped, but the fundamentals are mostly the same no matter what type of property you have. Some of the things that you can do are the following. Clean out unnecessary obstructions from your property. If your land is fully undeveloped, this might not be a big issue. If your property has a lot of tall grass or trees that do not highlight its best features, a simple grass cutting will give it a big makeover. If your land has an obvious advantage that you can capitalize on, make sure that you do so. For example, if it has a water feature such as a creek or a spring, you should highlight that part since it will be a unique selling point. If you have gorgeous mountain views, take some photos at dusk or dawn to highlight that. The internet is probably the best place that you can put your listing nowadays if you want to sell it faster, giving you the capacity to reach a wider audience. There are different platforms that you can use in order to sell your land. There are a number of websites that cater specifically to property listings such as Zillow or Realtor.com. Since these websites have already established themselves as go-to destinations for anyone looking to buy property, you will have access to a lot more potential buyers. One effective way of selling your undeveloped land is through Facebook Marketplace. Facebook has been around for a long time and almost every person on the planet has an account on this social media site. You will be able to post your listing and reach potential buyers in a specific location. Feel free to explore and research more about the best platform that you can use in listing your properties. Once you have determined the right sites to publish your listings, it's time to get to photos. Unlike houses, where you can easily highlight different rooms and the curb appeal, you'll need to be more creative with your vacant lot. For undeveloped land, this part will be a bit harder since most parcels will look almost exactly the same in the photos. That's why we've prepared some tips that you can follow to make your listing photos more appealing. Look for a good vantage point. Take advantage of the view that you can offer with potential buyers when they finally get a chance to see your property in person. For example, you can highlight the trees or the hills that you have on the property. Take a photo from the road so they know what it looks like when they get there. If your property is near a hiking site or a lake, you can include photos of these as well. Be sure to add in travel time or distance in your listing so that your buyers will have an idea of what life will be like if they choose to settle on your property. Amenities of the town where your property is can also be added to your listing photos, including government offices, restaurants, supermarkets, or gyms within a short distance. Hire a professional photographer. If you are not confident that you can take the photos yourself, hiring a photographer can be an option. Bonus points if they can do drone shots. You can easily find freelance photographers in your area by Googling real estate photographers near you. Professional photographers will have a great eye for capturing the best characteristics of the land that you can highlight in your listing. Plus, it will save you a lot of time. Once everything is ready, you have to make sure that when you post your listing, you provide as much information as possible. This includes any easement or access issues, zoning, taxes, utility connections, and more. You should know that potential buyers can ask a lot of questions when they are interested in your listing, so you will want to be proactive in giving out these details. Lastly, make sure that you are selling your property at the right price. While it's only worth what someone is willing to pay you for it, you can check with real estate agents or evaluate other properties like yours to make sure you're selling at a fair price. Selling your undeveloped land is going to be a challenge and will require a lot of time and effort, but it's doable. Just prepare yourself for the possibility of not being able to find a buyer in a short period of time. If you have undeveloped land currently waiting for a potential buyer, you can reach out to us here at LandBoss and we would be happy to make you a cash offer. To learn more, visit our website at landboss.net.